Hi there, this is Cookin Kitty, and welcome to Shifterland episode number 91. I hope, episode 91, and we're going to have we're doing some wine tasting. We're going to do a wine tasting, and I want to share with you some of a little bit about information about wine. That's my goal today, and so yeah, we're gonna drink a little wine, and this is I don't believe. Like they have the wine tasters, they do wine tasting, and then there's people who drink wine to get drunk. And this is a little bit of a mix in between. There's no sense. There's no reason just to have like you pour your little wine in there. And by the way, we don't got no bucket to spit, so just drink.
Yeah.
Just drink. No spit. No goddamn fucking spitting in the bucket, okay? Yeah. Fuck that, man. So anyway, this episode is dedicated to my friend who is a wine snob, and she was one of my first people to help me do some filming, and she has earrings that say wine snob on them. So this is dedicated to my friend who's a wine snob who used to help me film.
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
And then another thing I want to, unrelated to wine, I got some fan mail, you know, like handwritten. Fuck the internet. And so you got, it says here, to my sexy tiger. You sexy beast of a man. You turn me on with the fishnet stockings. I get so hot, I just want to take you and pull you by the ears. Secret admirer, XOXOXOXOXO. Anyway, thanks. And then now before I get to some things about some wine, I got another thing to share with you people. I know that some of you know that two of my favorite things to do are pee outside and drink alcohol outside. Fuck America, you can't drink outside in public, that's bullshit.
Bullshit!
Anyway, so anyway, the third thing that I really enjoy is when I am out drinking and I come home and I have an injury and I don't know how I got it. Because I returned home last night and I looked down at my foot and there was blood pooling. You have a visitor. There's blood pooling in my sock, and I had a cut in my what is this area? My shin. I had a cut in my shin and blood was dripping, pooling down into my sock, and it was getting kind of crusty. And you know, I didn't even know how I got it. It's like I just got home and I had a bloody thing. Anyway, I see that as having a sign of a good time. You know, getting hurt. Yeah, don't know how it happened. All right, so the whole reason why I'm even having this wine tasting is not to get drunk. The whole reason why I'm having it is because I want to have a little bit of product placement. I have a few products, but before I get to some of my products that are going to be available to you on the internet and fuck the internet. But anyway, I'm going to have some products that wine products. What I am doing is I'm going to buy some finished grapes from people who don't have the skills to advertise and to what's that other word? Damn it. Marketing. Yeah, advertising and marketing. So anyway, I just want to show you how I approach my wine when I go to taste it. There's some ways that are established in how you approach wines when you come to taste them. Traditionally what you want to do is you come up to it and you use your eyeballs. You look at it, you tilt it, look for its color, see, opaque, transparent, red, off-white, brown, green. Well, I don't know. You got to check out your color. It's going to tell you. That's going to tell you a lot. It's going to tell you a lot of information just from the color. And one thing you can do, very handy thing you can do, is if you want to be actually know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to want to have some sort of white something, piece of paper, a cardboard, a very white friend. I don't know, something. Like you just tilt your glass just like that. Just like that, and then you can tell. You can look at the color and you can make judgments like what country it's from. Maybe if we were doing like actual tasting, this would all be blind. But I know that this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know. But the whiteboard. You're gonna have to have something sort of white to check what's going on. So after you do a visual inspection of your wine, the next thing, it's actually very easy to remember. You go with your eyes. Next thing, what? Your nose. You want to smell it. The whole thing. This is we're already screwed up. This is oh god. All right. So well, after you make a visual inspection of your wine, the next thing that you want to do is that you need to do that thing. I guess they call it swirling. But already we're a little screwed up. If you notice, I have this. My wine glass has no stem. I don't know where it went. But right now, this red wine is being heated by my hot blood, my hot feline blood, and I don't know. It's gonna affect the taste of it when we get to it. But right now, we're just working on the vaporous, odorous, fragrance type stuff. You gotta. There's two things. Well, actually, there's two things happening right now. We're doing a visual inspection because you're looking at all these. You're looking at all this. It's called legs. That's another thing. You got nose and you got legs. So you do your little swirl and you check out all the little rivulets. All the little rivulets can give you so much information about your wine that you're going to drink. It could give you information of how mature your wine is, if it's a young wine or if it's an old wine. It can tell you maybe potentially what region it's from, and it could actually point out to you, what kind of oak. It's very important. What kind of oak, what kind of barrel that your wine was fermented in. So that's the legs. You give her a nice little swirl. You give her a nice little swirl, and you can figure out. You can find out so much information. And right now, like the color of this wine is making me very, very excited. To tell the truth, I don't know. So the swirl gives you an indication of the legs on it. It helps you figure that shit out. And then also the swirl brings all the fragrances up. The aromas, you got your aroma, your bouquet, you got all that stuff. And so that is going to also lead you to help you figure out the quality and the region and all the other information that the legs. Every little thing gives you so much information. You just have to be accustomed to using it. That's all. So after you do a visual inspection and then a smelling inspection, then you actually get to taste the wine. You get to taste the wine. And they have some weird term for this. They call this the mouthfeel.
He's gargling it.
What you want to do is you want to swirl that stuff everywhere, even if it becomes well, it's a little trickier when you're in formal settings, but at a wine tasting, anything goes. And you want to swish that stuff all around there, because you got taste buds that are in the front and the back, the left and the right, and they're everywhere. And then also, what happens is that taste is actually, it's actually a majority of the smell, because what happens is that when you swish all that wine around, it releases fragrance and odors, and what they do is they sneak up. They're little sneaky little motherfuckers. They sneak up your nasal passages, and then they go up from your mouth, because all those vapors that when you swish it around in there, it all sort of like goes right on up, goes up those nasal stuff, it goes up there, it goes up here where you smell it. And really, the majority of taste is actually all smell. That's all I'm trying to say. So. And then as you're tasting it, there's another thing called how it feels, the tactile surface that this wine does. I mean, it all depends how long it's fermented, how long it's been sitting on the shelf, what kind of oak, what kind of dirt it was growing on, what kind of country it's from, and then what happens is that the sensation, there can be like, I don't know, for example, if there's too much tannin, it hasn't had enough time to settle down, and it's like it's battling its fucking life with all the acidity, and it's in there, and they're having a fucking battle. But if the tannin hasn't had enough time to sort of evaporate and make the wine a little better, it's gonna be like you're sucking a prickly pear cactus. You get that in there, and it's going ow, 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 ow. your tongue is going to feel all these prickly little things. And that's because the tannin hasn't had enough time to sort of just mellow out and sort of take care of itself. One little hint before you have a if you're going to host a wine tasting party or house, one important thing you want to do is you want to make sure that people aren't wearing perfume, no cologne, no hairstyle gel with fragrance in it. You can't have any fragrance. If you're gonna be up there, you can't be competing. You can't be at some high-end restaurant and you need to have your skills top notch if you're gonna deal with these fucking assholes. And you can't. Yeah, if you want to learn about wine, you can't have these odoriferous things around. We got people smoking pot here. We have people smoking cigarettes here. It's this is a very informal tasting, by the way. If anyone hasn't figured it out, this is a very informal tasting. And I'm just going to show you one way that I personally, I was showing you earlier how traditionally humans approach their wine. This is how I approach my wine. Well, first of all, you can buy a varietal. When you call it one term, varietal. A varietal is when you have one wine that's made out of one particular type of wine. And get on in here, Bubba.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right.
It's all good.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Oh God, no, where was I at? Holy crap, I can't remember.
Varietal.
Oh yeah, varietal. We got a varietal. Your varietal is thanks. You got your Merlot and your Cabernet Sauvignon or whatever the hell they call that. And you got your Syrahs, your Syrah, which is my favorite. And then I always used to be confused by Syrah and Shiraz, and that really fucked me up, and I hate that stuff. I don't like that dualism, that two competing terms. But anyway, here I'm going to quickly show how I personally approach my wine.
And then I took a year. Real patient with me.
See, I'm doing the visual inspection. Second, you need to smell it. Eyes, nose, mouth, hands. If you get drunk and you find yourself at a wine tasting party and you lose track of what you're supposed to do, eyes, nose, mouth, feel. Anyway, so this is how I personally approach my wine. I come up to it.
Yeah. It's like the enlightenment. See all that now?
That would be handy, but I can't. I'm fucked. Anyway, back to that varietal thing. In the United States, which is, this is another thing, our culture is going down the drain. For us, like the organization in the United States that, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, the subsidiary of them, those motherfuckers, ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, they, for us to have a single grape varietal type of thing, it only has to be 75%. But in Europe, where they haven't actually lost their soul and their culture is not fucking dissipated by corporate greed, they need 85% to be called a single grape, a single varietal. Anyway, that's all I want to say about that, I'm in negotiations right now to do some product placement. I have some of my a few of my own types of wine that I'm going to be selling to the public. Shifterland's wine. Anyway, I got it right now. I have 3. I got a Malbec, and I got, you know, I got the Cabernet Sauvignon, and I think the other one I have is a, look, oh yeah, the Cat Butt Syrah. So what we have right here is a Malbec, Malbec. It's a Malbec, and yeah. So let's just see what is this gonna do.
Not bad.
I don't know. Right off the bat here, I see that we are producing some wines, some grapes, some wines, some finished wines from the people over in Eastern Washington, which is a beautiful, beautiful countryside. And what we've done is create a wine, a Malbec, that is so unusual that they won't even know it fucking hit them. Because what we have right here, usually when you have a wine that's a little green, what it tells you is that it's an immature and a very young grape, and it has no chemical compounds imparted from the oak. It has no tannins. The acidity level's all fucked up. I mean, usually what happens is that, for all intents and purposes, when you have a wine that has, well, I don't know, I don't know if you can, yeah, well, yeah, see there, yeah, there you go. If you have a wine that has that kind of a green tint to it, usually you're going to want to stay away from it, you know. It's one of your cheaper wines, but you know, it's deceiving. This is actually a very complex structural wine. Here, let's just here. I'll share you here's what a friend of mine who drank this wine suggested is. Here's what we have for the public when I'm out there doing my marketing. Shifterland's Malbec, delicate, upfront components arrange themselves in an interleaving lattice structure, producing a cascade of almost, but just shy of an overwhelming collection of fruit that gets its pants pulled down by tactile emotions of moist earth, followed by subtle hints of tar. The tar is why it's the earth. That's why it's green. Is we got this spiritual earth shit going on. We're gonna get back to this. There is a whole land of spiritual wine growing. We're gonna get that to a little later. So we have a tactile emotions of moist earth, followed by subtle hints of tar that only the most refined upper crust asshole deserves. This wine is a constant train of elaborate transitional flavors. At first, a velvet to satin theme, followed by hints of organic manure. And the finish is so rough, like the tongue of a cat, that you might as well have had sex.
That would be
You're first.
You got me.
Yeah.
What do you got there? What do you have? What do you have?
What we have here is a Shiraz. This is actually my favorite wine. It's if you can believe this, it has hints of cedar in it. Who knows? I never knew that cedar was in wine. Cedar. I knew that there's oak in wine.
Do they have cedar in Australia?
That's another thing. Because of the globalization of wine, you can, I mean, of all products across, I mean, the whole fucking spectrum of stuff, you can import your
Cedar.
Yeah. Here, well, I have, well, anyway, just see, already what's happened is that I poured too much wine. This is too much wine. If you're tasting wine, like, that's about a half inch, that's too much. That's too much. And another thing, we're screwed up because to truly taste the wine, you need a glass that has a wide bottom that comes up to a narrower top, and then you've got to squish it around. But you know, go, yeah.
Narrow bottom?
Yeah, narrow. Well, we got the opposite. We're fucked up here. We got a narrow bottom and a wide top. It's the opposite. Oh, and see,
And also the warps in the glass.
Yeah,
You can't really tell the legs.
Yeah. See, but you see, you're gonna wanna do it. You wanna do it at an angle.
At an angle.
Yeah, you want to do it at an angle. Yeah, because that way you're going to be able to look at the color. See the rim, the little top part. You can tell. You can judge. You can make
a gradient. Kind of?
Well, yeah, you can make a judge on the gradient of color at the top area of the rim with the light shining through. You can tell various things like what kind of grape it may be, or maybe where that grape came from, or maybe what kind of dirt was in there.
So which one are you gonna?
I read the astrology first.
I know we're gonna go for the Zinfandel. Yeah, Zinfandel.
Red
Yeah.
Zinfandel?
Yeah, it's a red. Yeah, is there a white Zinfandel?
I believe there are white Zinfandels as well.
Oh, see,
Yep, I've heard.
Yeah.
Hi, Anonymous.
Hi, Anonymous. My favorite.
There's some asshole about another asshole.
Oh God, what? Oh.
What do you got there? Can you show
What
me?
we got here?
Well,
What do you got? Yeah, what we got here is a
Yeah.
Zinfandel from California. We got a Zinfandel from
What country is it?
California.
State, country, United States. This is from California.
Okay.
Yeah, California. What we have here is the Zinfandel from the United States of America in California.
Okay, and can we
And
get
you
a
can bet- you
can we
can-
get a
what?
taste on that? Can we get a
Yeah,
taste
well,
and a comment?
I can already.
Can we get a
We have
taste
to-
and a comment?
We should approach it first, right?
Oh yeah.
So, eyes first.
Eyes first. Yeah. Oh yeah. Technically.
What's your white?
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
This apartment's giving me flashbacks to New York City, totally, man. Wait, I should shut that off.
Now, in your experience, is that a California red?
Well, what I would say is that what I could say right now that this needs to mature a little bit more, and because it's a little bit there's this subtlest twinge of purple, and it needs to move on into maybe some other little reds because some of the chemical compounds in there are going to switch up a little bit. They're going to change over time as they're in the bottle. And I can also tell you right now is that there's a huge controversy. I can tell you right now that this was fermented. This was fermented in some oak, some American oak that was not properly. It was done in this oak. The people who make oak barrels and all that stuff, they're called coopers. Cooperages. A cooper is a dude who goes down, chops down a tree, and then he takes that wood and he dries it, however he's going to do it, and then he makes it. He takes that wood and puts it into a barrel. I can tell right now that this wine was made by some fucking American who was in a hurry to get his wood dried. He used artificial energy. He like a kiln or maybe a hair dryer or something, or maybe something a little more industrial than that. But yeah, I'm telling you right now that
It's not naturally dried.
Yeah, it's a bad. Yeah, this is wood. Some people think that the wood is actually more important than where you get your goddamn grapes from. I tell you, I've been places where they say that where the wood is actually more important than the grapes, because the grapes, I mean, there's a little bit of variability in there, latitude, longitude, and altitude, GPS, all that stuff. I know all you kids and all your fucking modern goddamn toys. So anyway, I can tell right now that this is some fucked up American oak. I mean, because there are some people in America who use traditional European methods to curate their oak barrels, and that oak is fine. I mean, Europeans don't agree, but for the most part, it probably really is. Now back to the color. The color is this. I don't know. It tells me that it's fucked up American oak. That's what it says to me.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
Okay. But no, you're supposed to white wine taste. I don't want to. I'm shy now. I really don't. I'm
You don't
serious.
wanna-
I hate being on video.
You don't gotta do nothing.
So.
You don't gotta do nothing.
Not
I'm
even
gonna get out of the
funny.
background.
I don't even know. I can't.
Just keep on heckling.
funny.
You just stand back there and keep on heckling, okay?
Thank you.
Just heckle me, okay?
I will.
That's all you gotta do. Well, I'll taste this white one. I don't
Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio.
Stop
Which is actually, well, it's super grassy, so.
Why?
Did
you say grassy?
It's my friend's favorite.
What do you got there, Nick?
What we got here is a Pinot
Yeah, I hate myself on.
Grigio.
Grigio, yeah.
We got a Pinot Grigio here.
Sorry, you got an Italian in the room. You can't fuck with that word.
I've never seen my ass.
And it's another, oh, all right. Well, it's another goddamn California wine.
Uh-oh.
I know it's all fucked up. It's more of this goddamn weak ass American oak.
Okay.
All right.
God damn it.
You know, we are totally screwed. We're totally screwed because we got no wine stems. What happens is the international standard for wine tasting is a glass that has a wide bottom, narrow top, has a stem, and a little flat thing. It's called the XL5. That's what it's called. The international, I'm not fucking kidding you. It's the standard for wine tasting at high-end wine tastings is the ISO XL5.
Yeah, but at high-end wine tastings, you don't even really drink the wine.
Oh, well, I know.
Are you tasting?
You drink and spit.
Is that the same?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a Pinot Grigio from California.
Black Mountain.
Black Mountain. I enjoy their Shiraz because it's cheap.
Harlow Heights.
Oh man! Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, we have some strange, interesting effects happening on this wine. I think maybe it's aged a little bit too long because it's gone from the weird thing is people think that white wine is white. White wine isn't white. It's really kind of like a off yellow to a green because there might be I don't know a green to off yellow and then when it gets a little bit worse and like when it's like. The white wine starts turning, when it goes bad, it turns to a darker color. And what we have here is for evidently some of the wine in this glass, or some of the wine has gone bad.
No, actually, she had red wine in there.
Yes.
She's mixing her wine. Shut up, I'm
Rosé.
I'll tell you something right now. I mix my wine all the time. All the time.
Ooh. This is pretty good.
Would you say it's lively or sprightly? Would you say it's more lively or sprightly? Because it's very, I mean, you don't want to be caught embarrassed with your pants down and say like a wrong term, and then people are gonna go, oh.
I actually feel actually more calm with it.
Calm.
Yeah.
You mean like you're being sedated?
Slightly.
Are you saying that the little subtle undercurrents of vanilla is bringing you back to your couch and you're napping?
Yeah, it almost actually, it just is more buttery in a way.
Oh, buttery.
Yeah,
I
buttery
think-
yet oaky.
You know, to tell the truth, I'm feeling a little bit more cream than butter. A little more creamy. And then after that, I feel a little bit of a hint of like a velvet.
I feel the vanilla.
Yeah.
I can
Those two things
think
that start
the
with
cream.
B.
I
What?
can think the cream, but I don't feel the cream.
It's a wine tasting you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You say buttery. Oh man, it does feel. I love butter. I love butter. Cheers to butter.
Yes. Cheers to butter.
Another thing you can do. I mean, we got fucked up glasses here. Is that when you do your little swirl and you look at your little swirl, and another thing that you can look at from all the little things that they call legs. Here, see, I'll show you. See, the things that they call legs. You know, the things that they call legs. You go like, you do a little swirl. And they call it legs, and all this little syrupy shit drips down. But when you have a really solid molasses little thing, you can actually it's telling you that there's more alcohol. Like if you got some really nice legs on your little wine glass going on down, yeah, you can tell that there's more alcohol. So that's what we're looking for. A little bit more alcohol.
Okay. So.
Like, oh, we were like.
All right. What we got here
hippies, we smoked
is
pot.
the
So
question
we're
mark.
better
What I'm
than
going to say
everybody else.
that this is
And
probably
now
some
we're,
sort of
fucking,
blend,
making
some
babies
sort of
and
blend of several different like it's making you wonder what it is. And so I looked in that. We got what it is. It's I don't know where the grapes are from, but it's produced and bottled. Produced. That's an interesting word. What does that mean? Produced. But anyway, produced and bottled in Santa Barbara, California, and it's just it's a red table wine. So it's a mixture. It's a mixture. If you wanna, it's a goddamn mixture of several different grapes and I've gone through my litany of eyeballs, nose,
And I was also going to throw out.
and taste. And I've come up to this wine and I felt what it feels like, and I have become extremely disappointed. What I feel like with this wine, this strange wine, what it feels like, it feels to me like a couple of miniature poodles somehow snuck into the winery and climbed onto the top of the barrels and somehow I don't know, maybe the barrels weren't sealed good enough, but these poodles had diarrhea, and some of that diarrhea fell into the oak barrels because it was leaking. Because I hate animal owners that feed their dogs human food, because they got these people over in Europe and they're feeding their goddamn miniature poodles prosciutto. The prosciutto is giving these poodles diarrhea, and they climb up on top of they're all so cute and fluffy, and they go onto the top of the wine barrels, and their diarrhea soaks into it, and it's like, that's what I say of this wine.
Can I taste a different one and not that one?
Yes.
There aren't any tartar.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the main one was.
This was a blend of several grapes from California.
I think so.
That's not because
Oh no, I haven't said that yet. There is Chateau. I hate that term.
Or we just call it mellow now.
All right, what we have here is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and well, thank God we're out of California. We're in Chile.
Oh, Chile!
She's been to Chile. We got a Cabernet Sauvignon from Chile. So Oh, okay. See, there's.
Twist the bottle. Just so you know.
But you have to get practice being famous before you're properly famous. That way you can make all your
Cookin
mistakes.
Kitty, can you share with the rest of us?
What's that?
Can you share with the rest of us?
Well, what I do is I don't twist. I just take my tail and go like this.
Well, you didn't do it when you poured my.
It's like, it's just so.
We got okay. Sorry.
No, I'm not ready.
We have a chili.
Ooh, chili.
Cabernet Sauvignon. I think this is the one
Chili
you might be
wines are
talking
very
about.
good.
I'm not sure. I think there's only one Cabernet.
No, I was talking about the Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Which one?
This wine.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
No, but the. That's somebody.
You mean this part right here?
Yeah, that
You mean
part
the
right
people who are making the wine?
Yeah, the people that are making the wine.
Well,
Can you get in on that? I don't really know how to pronounce that.
Amanda.
Veuillez
It's not French.
I don't know
It's
how to
Chilean.
pronounce it
Probably
either.
wants to be.
Let's taste it.
Fuck this. I'm going out for a cigarette.
It's disgusting. How do you do this again?
How do you do this again?
Yeah, what's the process?
It's a four-way thing. Eyes, nose, mouth, feel.
Then we can start passing the night train
Yeah.
around.
You give it a little swirl. Well, just tilt and look. Tilt and look.
It smells
Tilt and look.
It smells
Wait,
really.
you're looking for the color. You're looking for the opaqueness, transparency. You want to see if there's any sediment in it. Most wines shouldn't have sediment. There's a few that do have sediment in there, but you don't want to. Most wines, you want to check for clarity. You want no debris in there.
It's nice.
Yeah. So then the next thing is the smell.
No.
And you do know.
Warm and woody.
Warm and woody.
Yeah.
And it smells like a barrel of wood.
A barrel of wood.
Yeah, like earth.
It
Yeah.
does. It's very earthy. Should we taste?
Different distance.
Good, right?
There is the appropriate technique.
I've heard you spit. Take a taste. Swirl around.
Okay, so it's like disintegrating on my tongue right now as we speak.
Do you mean disintegrating or evaporating?
No, disintegrating. It's just absorbing it.
Yeah,
Would you
it's
say
like
that it's trying to claw through your soul?
Almost. It actually is taking a new form on my tongue. My tongue is actually now.
See, that refers to the battle that is happening within the sugars, the tannins, and the acidity, and that one other thing that I can't remember. But my Cabernet Sauvignon now has some other chemical compounds that have leached out of Nicolette's body. So now I have a
God
whole
only
new.
knows what's in that. I don't know.
I have no idea what's in here now.
It tastes better. This stuff's really It's
Woody,
it's woody,
warm.
it's earthy.
It is very earthy.
It's good.
reason that it hurts.
I'm not.
I say-
I'm not a
well,
fan.
Kind of cherry-ish in a way.
I would say that it's
His membrane, what it thinks it is the egg.
blackberries,
It's trying to
fucking
do that.
Yeah, it's
cherries.
So if I
It's very berry.
The money shot, really.
I don't know. There's too many berries in here. There's too many berries. I don't know. You got black currants. You got cherries. You got blackberries. I have no idea. There's too many. My palate. I mean, I'm from Tacoma. I can't tell. I cannot tell.
It's you can't tell. It's overwhelming.
There's too many berries. There's too many berry flavors in this Cabernet Sauvignon. Like most, actually, a lot of those Cabernet Sauvignons have so many flavors. I have not been able to completely identify all the chemical constituents and the flavors of the different kind of berries coming in from the left, coming in from the right, all that.
After the man show and he got his second.
I should tell you I have a sore throat.
Wait, you're going second here?
I'm unconcerned.
Okay.
Another.
It's almost. It's
My ass almost
on fire.
got set on fire.
So a second of my 3 wines that I am going to be selling to the public in the very, very near future is the Feline Heat Cabernet Sauvignon. Again, this is another wine where I've bought my grapes. I bought my finished product from some people in Eastern Washington because I'm in love with Eastern Washington. Go Eastern Washington. So what we have here is another odd. What we've got here is so dark. The flavor in this wine is so intense that it almost defies description by color. I mean, it's basically I can see a little bit hints of red. But it's basically a black to a very, very, very dark purple. Black to very, very dark purple. And in this wine, there is so many flavors. It's like some people cannot deal with this wine because there is too much. There is too much drawing your attention. There's some things coming over here. There's all these sugars because all the alcohol hasn't been taken up by all the tannins. There is so much. There's so many different weird relationships pulling and going back and forth, up and down, left and right. And so anyway, that's why this is so dark. The character and the depth of this wine is so intense that you can barely, you would need a brighter light to see just a little bit of a plum or a red or a very, very, very dark, well, not even purple, but you'd need more light to see any kind of color in here besides near black. And that was my personal brand of Shifterland's Cabernet Sauvignon. And here's how I feel about this wine that I've created. Well, I haven't created this wine. I've just bought it from people in another region and took their product and put it into my thing, and I'm marketing it. So the description of this Shifterland's Cabernet Sauvignon: it descends from the bowels of the tiger, imparting the veracity to get it done. The complex flavors of organic cat pea leach through clay, hand-scraped from the great cliffs of Tacoma, delivering backwards nose hints of graphite and nuts, of spicy oak, and of a battle between blackberries and a chocolate dark pepper so subtle as to be beyond mortal description. The sweet love that the tannins and the acidity gyrate against create a structure and spiritual residue that will long outlast your memory of who and what happened the night you sucked this supercharged wine down. Here, well, I don't even know nothing about Chianti. I've never done Chianti. I have no idea.
I'll position myself to save you the chance to be civil with it.
Usually go upstairs. Great job, man. Oh, is he filming? Oh shit.
Oh no, wait, it's all, you can do whatever you need to do.
Sorry, buddy.
So what we got here is a Chianti. We got a Chianti from Italia, Siena, Italia. What another thing that they're famous for is Siena is a pigment. Siena. They got a bunch of stuff underneath all their old crumbly sidewalks or wherever the hell they get it, but there's some pigment down there called sienna. Makes a beautiful, beautiful, you could call it a tan, but they call it sienna. Anyway, it comes from Italy, Sienna. And so we got a Chianti from Italy. This is one of the darkest wines that we've visually that I've had tonight. One of the yeah. Oh.
Push this button right here.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? I don't know if it takes. It doesn't remind me of. Well, actually, it does remind me of a cat, but not of cat piss. What this reminds me of is a cat that I used to know named Harold in 1969. I used to know this cat around 69 named Harold, and he was missing for a while, you know. And we used to drink wine together, and he was missing for a while. And he came back to the family, and his whole entire skull was slightly crushed in, just a tiny bit, not a lot, just a little bit. So we had this cat named Harold, and he got hit by a car, or maybe someone kicked him or something. Anyway, we had the doctors. What the doctors did is that they drilled 2 holes in his head. They drilled 2 holes in his head, and then what they did is they had us take some wire that was covered in gauze and then put into a circle like a little ring. But before we tied it, they put it through one hole and put it in and put it out the other, and then they tied it. And so what we had to do for a couple of weeks is that we had to put antibiotic ointment in Harold's little thing, and then we had to go every day. We put some medicine so he wouldn't get an infection, and we had to go whoosh, 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 whoosh. So I also wanted to dedicate this episode to an old friend, a cat named Harold that I used to know around 69. That's what this wine reminds me of him a little bit, because he was into Chiantis and I'm into Syrah.
Harold.
Harold.
Yeah.
And I want to share with you another tool, like personally, a personal technique that I like to use for how I judge a wine is like, screw all this stuff. One thing I do is like, what I like to do is like, I like to see what a wine does to my lips. I like to see what a wine does to my lips. I like to see what a wine does to my teeth. And so a mirror is very instructional. When you're drinking wine, like I actually prefer, one of my main tools for judging a wine, I want to say the number one, but one of the top 5 tools is what a wine does to my lips and what it does to my teeth. And somewhere around there, around number 3 or 4 or 5, another thing that I like to do for how judging a wine is like, I like to see when I like to see how many fingerprints I can get on my glass, and I like to see how many little like lip stains, like depending how many. Let's see. Look at all this. I mean, this is. Can you see all that? Can you see all that debris? There's crackers, and we got all sorts of stuff in here, and like that is how I actually. That's another way. One of my. I don't. Maybe not top 10, top 5. Well, that's another way I judge my wines is what kind of debris that my smacking lips leave on the edge of the goddamn wine glass. That's another way that I judge my wine.
Now it's a closed session. Yeah, I want some more.
I think Josh wants some wine. Oh, it's Daryl. Damn it! You both have such husky, sexy voices.
That's what we're drinking.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. And I'm not joking. I'm being serious.
Let's try this.
All right. This is one of my favorite wines. You can get it at certain stores that I won't name because anyway, it's well, what is it a wine? It's local, Snoqualmie. You know, they're probably buying their grapes. Who knows where they're buying their grapes from? That's globalization. It's all fucked up, man. It's totally fucked up. Who knows where they're getting their grapes from? But I love this wine. It's from the Columbia Valley, so I guess that's where the wines are from. Washington State. I like to drink wine from Washington because I live in Washington. And that's called, what do you call it? A macrobiotic diet, although it's supposed to be a little bit closer than the whole state. But anyway, that's another subject. Anyway, the Snoqualmie Syrah 206, you can get this. This is one of my most, actually, I brought this to some people who are wine snobs. What?
Nothing.
Oh, anyway, I brought this to some wine snobs one day, and they were just drinking, and they don't treat me seriously. They at all. It's like anyway. Well, they're friends of mine, but they thought this wine was super awesome. Super awesome.
Dude, 367 sucks. Wait, it's the Syrah?
Right there.
No, what it is black currant and pepper coming into your mouth, going into your nose, and then it's going into your pleasure-seeking centers, into your brain, and that is what's happening. No, it's a Syrah to answer. It's a Syrah to answer your question.
I'll be the judge of that, Mr. Kitty.
You didn't even look at it.
Nope. And I have a cold, so I can't really taste or smell.
Oh, and you're wearing cologne too.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, that's my musk. That's what monkeys smell like. What? I think this tastes like fried chicken.
Probably with Nicholas
Definitely.
somewhere.
You taste it? There's a hint of the crisp.
The reason why he is sensing that it's fried chicken and that crispness is that crispness. It all goes back. I'm telling you, it's like grapes are grapes are grapes. Grapes are grapes are grapes. But like those grapes sit in a fucking vat called a barrel. The normal barrel actually is 59 gallons, by the way. That's how much wine they make at once. And also, yeah. Anyway, so the barrel is the most important fucking thing. That's why he senses fried chicken in his wine, is because it's what they did to that barrel. The people make these barrels, and they see you, Sean. They make these barrels, and it's how they dried and cut. In the United States, they cut their goddamn barrels with a saw. It's like, they're learning because they're getting laughed at by people in France, but that's another story too. So anyways, you got.
Sorry about that.
What's that?
Sorry.
Sorry. What are you sorry about? You are sorry.
I scratched your ear.
Oh,
I didn't know you did.
Anyway, you got the Americans who are cutting their oak with in Europe they cut their oak by hand. They cut their oak by hand, and then also what's happening is that fried chicken. You know what that fried chicken, that feeling is? That is when they make the oak, when they make the barrel, they apply a certain amount of flame. It's called burning, or it's toasting the barrel. And what's happened is that they've done an aggressive toasting to the barrel, and it's created a pretty dark black-skinned fried chicken feeling to this wine. I was a little, I don't know, maybe it's because you have a cold, but I didn't really feel the fried chicken part. But the reason why, the reason why that crispness would be there is because that they had prepared this one reason, not all reasons. That's the whole thing. There's so many variables. There's so many goddamn variables that anyway. Daryl thinks that the Syrah from Columbia Valley tastes like fried chicken, and the reason is because of toasted barrels. It's how America is making its oak barrels to ferment wine in. Let's go on to my third and final wine that I'm hoping the public will become enamored and become in love with. The third wine in Shifterland series, the third and final, is the Cat Butt Syrah, 2007 Cat Butt Syrah. Let's see someone in fine dining do this. This is what I got for fine dining. Fine dining, this is what I got for fine dining, right here.
He's totally see the knuckles, not even the cotton ball.
We got another really dark colored wine here that I'm producing because I want my fans, I want people that enjoy my wine to get as much pleasure out of it as I get. So I prefer wines that have an explosion, a taste explosion. You take that wine in and it It's the Cat Butt Syrah 2007 by SHIFTERLAND Vintners. And what we've had to say about this wine, what I send out to people when I'm trying to tell them is surprisingly it attacks from the left with an initial brave gravelly hints derived from early fermentation in old world kitty litter that hasn't been cleaned in weeks, followed by velvety satin sensations tumbling down your throat, sending your hand for the nearest crotch. The aroma of cedar follows with a direct middle finger of spicy pepper along with mixed American French oak, deploying a finish so perfect as to leave you wondering why you are here on this planet. It's an intense motherfucking wine, and you better go fucking buy it, or it's like... What? Huh. Bye, Baba!
Bye, Baba.
Oh wait, here, wait. Can we do this? Can we go like this?
Oh,
is that okay? Bye, Baba.
Bye.
Bye.
You have a lovely evening.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Anyway, today is the day after Thanksgiving, and this is a little bit off topic from the wine, but what we got here is it's Black Friday, and I want to know what Black Friday has to fucking do with Good Friday. Good Friday. So anyway, we got Black Friday, and then we got Good Friday, and I'm wondering what kind of sort of weird ass connections there is today, because today, I was hoping, I was praying, I was doing my notes, I'm doing some training, I'm thinking about this TV show, I'm doing my research, and I'm thinking I was gonna say, thank God no one died on Black Friday. But evidently today in Walmart, somewhere in the outskirts of New York, a worker there was killed by 1,000 Americans going to get their plasma screen TV, or I don't know what they're in there for, but I'm assuming that most of them were going for a large TV. I don't really actually know. But they tore the doors apart. They just... And you got some worker in there, and I don't know if he was like the newbie, or I don't know why he was there, but this person gets killed by Americans looking to get their shit for cheap. So I don't know what it's all about. It's pretty surreal. It's almost like a goddamn comedy. It's not real. Why? I mean, someone's dying because we want our cheap shit. Normally, one of the other things that you're supposed to do when you hold a wine tasting party is that you want to provide crackers that have a neutral taste. Not a lot of salt, not a lot of sugar, but what I like to do in between the wines that I drink is I like to have a little bit of PBR. That's what I use to clean my palate, is PBR. I use the PBR to clean my palate between my wine tastings. Why is it called Black Friday? Like shopping equals death. My economic plan as the first feline president of our United States would be no more credit for the rest of 2009. Martial law would be vaguely installed, or maybe like what happened last night, what I like to call martini law. That might help out a lot. I think a lot of people might want to get involved in a little bit of something that I call martini law. So anyway, we got people shopping on Black Friday. People are dying. At least one person so far has died because America wants its deals. The economy is fucked. Corporations are giving the people of the United States one of the worst fuckings in the world. They're not killing people, they're just destroying the culture. It's like people from foreign countries came to and founded this country by slaughtering Native Americans and stealing their land. Now the same thing is being done again by corporations and morally criminal acts perpetrated against the people of this great country. And it's such a great country. Everyone says it's a really, really great country, and I mostly agree with that. But why can't you walk down the street with a gin and tonic? Why can't I drink in public with a gin and tonic? That's fucked up. Maybe these people wouldn't be so rabid about getting their deals if they could drink in public. Well, I know, that would probably actually make it worse. The corporations are sucking the resources and belongings of Americans in the whole wide world like they're crack addicts. They will keep sucking until there's nothing more to suck. 700 billion of sucking, and then now they want to suck another 107 billion. So that's like $1,400 billion of fucking sucking from Americans. That's a lot of sucking. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a cat that likes to indulge in gin and tonic occasionally, so I don't know. I don't have a grasp on these like international larger issues. This is sort of like just how I feel inside my stomach when I just how I feel. It has the smell of the biggest heist in history. All these corporations sucking American flesh right up their greedy big pipes. There's no telling how much or when the sucking will stop. My prediction is the corporations will be back in their monolithic, record-setting agendas of profit in a few months. It will all be back to normal. Everything's going to be back to normal. Normal. It's going to be debt upon debt. Oh, sorry. Anyway, this is Cookin Kitty. This has been my little lesson, my little adventure in how to do wine tasting, and we learned a little bit. I hope there's something that you can take from this. I don't know if there's anything you can take from this, but anyway, this is Shifterland, episode number 91, and hopefully you're going to go out there and experience and enjoy more wine.